I'll start. I didn't write this dream down last night, but Larry David was in my dream, and he wanted to sell red sweatshirts, and I was like, I'll sell them online for you. And there were 40 different red sweatshirts, and I was like, I can't sell these online because they're all different SKUs. So we just started selling them to people at a train station. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stupidest show of all time, but also a smart show called Drink and Grow Rich, featuring me and the man behind the camera, Brandon. What's up, the K.ing280 said hi. What's this, about $50? So, if you know, Drink and Grow Rich, people ask questions and we get conversations going. Ask me interesting questions. And whoever I pick at the end wins. And the winner used to get a 6-pack of beer, and I'd Venmo it for them, but nobody ever ended up buying the beer with it. They just pocket the money, so I upped the ante to just $50. So, ask an interesting question, and that's what it's all about. CN, I have airports. Don't know what you're talking about. Hecker, I'll wave to Hecker. Hecker, do you miss doing the show? We were just on the Clubhouse today, and I was asking people about the whole solo podcast, having different guests every episode, or doing a podcast with the same person every time. And I think the ones I like to listen to the most out of the three of those, obviously it depends on who it is, but I think I like to listen to ones with like the same couple people, and that was the whole thing. Oh, Sarah baby, come in for that $50. Where do I want to be in 5 years? I don't know. I don't like this type of questions because I want to be a billionaire. Like you got to kind of take it year by year. You got to kind of keep going. My current specific goal is to move my building to the new building and keep it operational, stay successful with it, and get that functioning. And then maybe I can have some 5-year goals. But I'm actually at the very end of my 3 to 5 year goal right now that I set 3 to 5 years ago. So I'm going to make that transition and then figure it out.
When did you start making goals?
I mean, honestly, like I'm not
like writing them down.
I'm not like the best goal setter. I know I'm driven. I'm driven by like leaving a legacy, making a lot of money, building a company. And there's been years where I've like written goals. Like I'm not the best goal setter. I kind of do it like naturally and inherently, but something I definitely need in the future, and I'm already have my eyes open for, is like the one big goal. Like Elon Musk is to make human beings an interplanetary species. And like Gary Vee on a smaller level wants to own the jets. Like I'm still kind of seeking my one big goal, and I know that it's good to have one. And I could fake one, but I kind of got to wait for it to come. And I just want to grow my company. The thing I've been saying is I want to get to be a $100 million company. If you ask me right now, what's my number one goal? It's to become a $100 million company. And we're a couple steps away from that. What's your favorite part of being a newlywed? Congrats to you and Shelby. Oh, thanks. Me and Shelby were dating for 10 years before getting married. So it was very similar to before we got married. So I don't really have something that is about specifically being a newlywed. So best investment for young people, that's easy. Best investment for young people is investing in your personal mindset. It sounds corny, but it's 100% true. If you can take like the mindset I have now, the mindset I developed when I was like 19 to 23, and you can do it at like 15, 16, dude, that's a huge step ahead. Because most 15, 16, 17-year-olds are stupid. They're just trying to party, or they're just trying to like get through their life, or they're just following their parents' dreams. But like the best investment you can make is just like knowing how successful people think and start developing your brain to be like that. And it'll take a couple of years for you to like truly develop that. You're gonna have to be obsessed with listening to podcasts, reading books about it. But like, and it doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur, start your own business. That's usually where it leads to, because you're gonna be so motivated. But understanding like mindset, basically, don't make excuses. Don't blame your problems on other people. Take personal responsibility for everything And understand that you can listen to two different opinions and they might be from authority figures. Doesn't mean it has to apply to you. Build a strong inner you. That is the best investment for young people, because then everything after that will be layered on top of you, and then you're going to be off on a great start. So that is by far the best thing to invest in as a young person is your core. Your core. Who are you going to be? Are you going to be somebody who, oh, my boss is so annoying? Are you going to be somebody who's, I gotta go to work today? Are you going to be somebody who's positive, somebody who has a good energy? Set that up, and the rest of investments or jobs or business, everything else layered on top of that will be so much higher proficiency if you set that up at a young age, your core. That's the best investment for a young person to make. Their physical, their mental core and their mindset.
Why don't you think they teach mindset in like high school?
Dude, that's a great question. Where's the natty ice? Which one of these doesn't fit in? Obviously, that's correct. I don't know. Why don't they teach that in high school? High school is...
well, you have to search out and find it yourself.
I mean, it's not for yeah, you got to search out and find it yourself. They should make every kid read like Think and Grow Rich in high school. It's not everyone's going to start a business. Not everyone's going to be an entrepreneur, but everyone should have that type of understanding that you can create your own life and you can put it in whatever spectrum you want. I don't know. School system's broken, man. It was started in the 1950s as a way to train factory workers. So it's broken. Where'd you get your entrepreneurial spirit? I've always been high energy. I've always wanted to be like rich, whatever the hell that means. And after I read Think and Grow Rich when I was 19 years old, I spent 19 to 24 developing that spirit. And that's where I got it, I guess. Energy is important. High energy is important.
Explain like the first couple of years where you were doing t-shirts and after you quit your job. Like, how were you surviving?
Well, I had my mom's basement.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I didn't have a rent. And I was just so poor. Like, so poor. Like, go to the gas tank and fill up my car and like put in like $11 or like $8. Like, I remember the first time I had I got like a paid and I was like, filled up my whole gas tank. And I was like, I feel like a king. I think I probably tweeted it back in like 2011. I was like, I feel like a king. I just filled up my whole gas tank. Like, but that whole time I knew that this is what you have to do because I was like 23 and the 3 years previous, I was like, you got to go through shit. That's an important thing to understand. You have to go through shit, absolute shit. Like you have to be going through shitty situations because that's the only way to grow. It's like grinding through the dirt and then like you start to figure shit out. And if you never grind through the dirt, you'll go like this.
What was like...
But if you grind through the dirt, you pop up and then you're like way better.
What kind of like jobs were your mom telling you to go do while you were like trying to do that?
My mom wanted me to be like a standard person. Like when I quit my job, I told her and she was like, she started like, she was like freaking out. She's like, are you serious? Like, what are you going to do? Start your own business? Like, she didn't believe in me. And she, in her defense, she never knew anyone else who like started a business. She didn't know anyone else who like understood this like mindset that I was going through. Like, I wanted to be big. I wanted to grind. I knew I had to start my own business. I knew I had to like re-evaluate everything I know, break it down, start from nothing, grow. She didn't really get that. So like, she was just freaking out.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you have any friends growing up that like their parents had businesses? Were you like ever were you ever friends with any business owners? Basically?
No, I was never surrounded by business owners. My one uncle on my dad's side, who I don't really know that well, especially as a kid, started his own business. Lowry Brothers dealership. My dad was part of it before he passed away. My dad was 7 years younger than him, so he was part of it, but my uncle really started it. That was the only guy. I never knew anyone else that was business mindset. So like I had to really, really learn it on my own. That's why I needed to read books. What's your favorite morning podcast routine to get ready for a busy day? It shifted over the years. I used to obsess over audiobooks, like mindset stuff. Like this seems to be the common thread right now. From 19 to 23, every day, every second, all I did was read. I used to go to Barnes & Noble, sit there, read the book, and then I couldn't afford it, so I would fold the page and I would put it in the back. And then I would come back the next day and go grab it, and I would unfold and keep reading. And I would just be at Barnes & Noble all day reading books. This was a little bit like before podcasts and stuff. I just became obsessed with knowledge. And so during that phase, it was always knowledge. Now, in the morning on the way to gym, I like to listen to like Jimmy Fallon or music. I've kind of already ingrained a lot of the entrepreneurial stuff. So I don't need it as much because I kind of already have it deep in my core, like I was talking about. You should have a Zoom meeting class with other entrepreneurs just starting out and hype each other up. Well, it's kind of that would be good for Clubhouse.
Yeah.
I just set up all right, who knows about Clubhouse? I was curious when I asked you, Brandon, like.
Didn't know.
It's very popular. And I was like, is it all over your like Twitter, Instagram feed? You never had seen those like little circles and like it's very popular. And I don't know if it's like, do you think Clubhouse is popular in like the entrepreneur, like intellectual?
Yeah, it's definitely.
I think that might be it. I think that might be why it's all over like my feed and why it seems so prevalent to me. And everyone I know is like already on there. You have to get invited to Clubhouse, but I think that's a little bit of their strategy. It's not that hard to get invited. And you're getting drunk, LOL? Yeah, the show's called Drink and Go Rich. But Clubhouse...
It's like Zoom without video.
Yeah, Clubhouse. It's so basic. It's just, you start a Clubhouse, other people can join, and you just talk. And you can put your microphone on mute. There's no likes. There's follows. You have a profile where people follow you, followers similar to other social media. But there's no likes. There's no chat. There's no like comment section. It's very like, and there's no recording. It doesn't like post later as a finished thing. It's very natural, and I just can't believe how popular it is. And my theory is, if anything is new, I have to already like it and then get engaged in it before being a hater on it. And I just did like a meeting. I had a bunch of people in it. We were talking for like from like 1 o'clock today to like 2:30, and it was cool. I mean, couldn't you always learn more? Yes, Michael, I could learn more. One of my problems is that somebody who has a podcast, somebody who has an audiobook, somebody who is going to create content about business and stuff, they want to write a book or start a podcast or have that applies to people who are starting. Like the people who are at my level, there's not enough mass there that people would write a book about how to go from 5 million to 20 million. There's less content about that. So I could learn more. I have this unread email and these 4 voicemails from this like CEO group. It costs $10,000 to join. And I've been thinking about doing it. And that's kind of the things I need to do for my level. Like I could always learn more, but the things I need to learn aren't information that is worth for people to give to the masses. I'm like a level up. So I need to find, if I was going to learn more, I need to find that level. You strike me as someone that was in a college business frat. Dude, that would be a college. I was in a frat. I'm absolutely a frat boy at heart. Yeah, I mean, a business frat.
Yeah, there was a business frat at USC.
What does that mean?
Literally, it's all about business, but it's a fraternity.
Like, there was fraternities at my school that weren't fraternities, that were like other fraternities, but they weren't real fraternities. Like, they didn't have a house.
Yeah,
Like, no, I was in a real frat. And
they still try to be cool and throw parties, but they didn't have a house.
Yeah, like, what's the stat? It's like 90% of congressmen, like 90% of presidents, like 90% of Fortune 500 executives were all in fraternities. Like, fraternities are fucking awesome. If anyone's in college, just join a fraternity.
Because that's what college is about, is networking. Like, you're not getting your money's worth if you don't have friends.
It's about networking, and it's about like learning how to navigate the jungle of the world of like social stuff without your parents. We had a business frat at my college. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They were young aspiring professionals. What did you major in? First, I majored in accounting because I thought that I was going to get a job. And then after I got inspired, I knew I was going to be a business person. And my friends stopped letting me cheat off them. And that
you wanted to be an accountant?
I wanted to be an accountant. And I remember
you cheated before that?
I cheated all through accounting. Like, I tried. I just didn't really give a fuck. It was so stupid. And my Professor Galbraith, I remember, the one day I was in a summer accounting class, he said, the accountants in the company, they're not going to be the heroes of the company. They're not going to be the most important person. They're kind of going to be like the guys in the back. And I was like,
dang, you.
Just like a light bulb went off in me, and I was like, no. And then I was like, fuck. So like that was summer. The next semester I was still accounting, and all I did was copy from my friends. And like as a week went on, they just stopped letting me copy little by little. And I was like, fuck, I can't copy anymore. I was like, I'm not going to be an accountant anyway. What the hell am I doing? So I transferred to marketing, and I graduated with a marketing degree, and it taught me jack shit. Accounting and finance are so boring. I mean, I do them now. Like I have an accountant, I have a bookkeeper, but I also have my own spreadsheet on Sheets, on Google Sheets. And I don't know what you would call it, maybe a cash flow statement, but I keep all my bank accounts, what I owe, and I have a little bottom line. Like I respect accounting. The thing I don't like about accounting is like the purpose of it is to hand a company's books over to the government for a tax return. So it's like, I don't really care about that part. I care about the actual business part. Am I making money? Am I losing money? How much debts do I have? How much money do I have in the bank? Like I have a little section where I have expenses and I pop them in and then it goes on there. Like I am good with money, but accounting is the recording of a business's numbers in the language of the government for the purpose of reporting taxes. You gotta pay your taxes. I pay my taxes. I don't give a fuck about that language. I have my own language, and my language is entrepreneur language. And if I'm losing money every month, I need to know that. And first of all, you get your books back from your bookkeeper like the 20th. Like if the month ends on the 31st, I know in the first where I'm at. You don't get the books back till like the 20th. It's for the fucking government to pay your taxes. I majored in marketing. It's all common sense, but does teach you how to sell yourself. I guess. I didn't learn a damn thing. If you invented a brand new color, what would you name it? Rachel's trying to get the win. I would name it.
Oh, she's coming.
I would name it Fruff.
Fruff.
Are you a spender or a saver? I'm not really a saver as far as dollars. I go crazy if I have money that is just sitting there. So like I have a lot of money in stocks and Bitcoin, and then all my other money, I have like a plan for it. Like I'm going to buy in this building. I have to buy new equipment. Like I am a builder. I'm not a spender or a saver. I'm a builder. And I'm not a cheap ass because I feel like a lot of people that are savers are cheap asses. And there's advantages, I guess. I mean, obviously if you spend less, you have more. But I see too much friction in being a cheap ass. You know, they say, there was this joke. People say, save $5 on your Starbucks coffee every day. How much does that add up to? It adds up to 5 times 365. That much money you could save if you don't go to Starbucks. Okay, and then the joke was when Elon Musk became the richest person in the world, I saw a bunch of people posting about Elon Musk became a billionaire, and all he did was not buy 40 million cups of coffee. And it was a joke making fun of the way to get rich is to not buy Starbucks. I mean, I'm not the type of guy who's trying to not get Starbucks. I mean, it depends on my day. Like if I spend 40 minutes debating whether I should spend $70 or $92 on something, and I spend 40 minutes weighing out $70, $92, $70, $92. I spend 40 minutes weighing that out. In those 40 minutes, I could work on something that makes me $200. Perfecting an ad, adding a new product. Therefore, that time was much better spent going forward. Now, when I was poor, the 70 versus 92 was more important. But I find more value in my time. People, like, I don't mow my own lawn. And I love this example because mowing your own lawn is something you pay someone to mow your lawn. Yes, because in the time I'm mowing my lawn, I'm going to be doing something more productive. And I'm a go guy, so I'm doing something. If I was sitting at home all weekend, not doing a damn thing, and I paid someone to mow my lawn, then I easily could have done it. But I'm not like that. I'm going to be doing something else that can make me more money in the time that someone else is mowing my lawn. Of companies have to report to investors and shareholders and all kinds of revenue projections. Yeah. I mean, one of the things they say about public companies is it sucks because you need to satisfy a group of investors every 3 months, every quarter. And if you're building for the long term, you don't need to impress people every quarter. You need to impress people 10 years from now. And like Jeff Bezos done a good job of that, not giving a shit about the short term. But you have to sell that to your investors.
You missed my question.
What would you say?
Would you ever franchise UM?
I don't know how.
Like a person wants to like use your likeness and they build a warehouse in Texas.
Well, that's more like licensing.
Yeah.
Franchising is for like McDonald's or like Arby's or like a physical location where you can buy the real estate, you can buy the likeness, and then you run the business. But you don't have to come out with your own products. You don't have to make your own banners or your own font. You get paid to run your business, but like it's mostly dependent upon the market, not how good of a business person you are. So it's kind of an investment in that case. What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? What does inanimate mean?
Not living. Like a beer bottle.
Seatbelts.
What the fuck?
If you were to host a business conference, who would you choose to be your co-host? Could be anyone, dead or alive.
Business conference.
Conferences are so annoying because you have to go there. Brandon.
Hell yeah.
No, not Brandon. Not even close. I don't know. It depends what the conference is. But Brandon. I don't know, man. It depends what the conference is. What's your next big purchase since you got your dream car, Tesla? Well, my next big purchase is in 2 weeks, sign the final papers for the new 22,000 square foot building we're getting. And that's the next big purchase. And then after that, was on a call today. There's this DTG company called Cornette that's trying to sell me a $600,000 DTG printer. And the other company, Brother, is trying to sell me like $120,000. And they're both like ripping on each other. They both know I'm in the market. And I'm talking to both salespeople. And they're both like, oh, those other guys, that's their problems. So I'm trying to, and I purposely play them against each other. I told each of them that I'm talking to the other people to kind of get a feel for the market. And I'm probably going to end up going with Brother. But yeah, I'm about to spend. Is that
because of brand name?
Yeah. I mean, people know Brother because it's like their personal printers and stuff like that, but they also do industrial DTG printers. They're a Japanese company, but in the next month, I will be spending over $600,000 in stuff. Buildings, down payments for the building, equipment, and then I'm sure I'll have to spend some money. And now, do I have all that in the bank? No, but like, it's gonna be chopping away a little bit. I'm getting a loan from the SBA, and then I'm gonna have to pay off. So like, I don't have $600,000 in the bank, but I'm gonna be chopping away, and I'm gonna be spending that much over the next month, and I'm probably gonna go back to not having a lot of cash, which is fine with me because I don't like having a lot of cash just for under the pillow per se. I like to have my cash have a purpose and either be sitting somewhere in investment or be ready to go attack something. And then as I get more cash, I'm like, oh, I don't like having cash. I like building businesses. And of course, you know, I could come up with cash if I need it. I don't like just having cash and just having it. I like having a plan for that cash or putting it somewhere. Like, it makes me uncomfortable to have like just a bunch of cash and not have a plan for it. And that's easy. It's been easy because I'm trying to, as I've had cash over the past months, years, I always knew that I needed to put a down payment of about $300,000 for this new building. So like, I always got something working. And when the time comes that I have so much cash and I don't have a plan, that is when I will maybe become charitable. Like, rich people provide back the most because they have the most to give. So I'm not at a phase now where I'm ready to just like start a charity for hungry kids in Africa. But someday, if I have all this cash and I'm fulfilled in business and it's still growing and I have all these projects, that is when you can maybe start thinking about like doing some good. But I'm not even close to that yet. Where will be the basketball hoop in the new warehouse? There absolutely 100% is going to be a basketball hoop in the new warehouse. It's going to be in my office. It's going to be 8 feet because of the ceiling. And but 8 feet, and I'm going to be dunking all day long.
I have a question for that.
Yeah.
What part of your business isn't profitable?
What part of my business isn't profitable?
Yeah.
The podcast.
Well, like,
well, there's only one part of my business over there. We sell products. Like, so I've only have one business, and they're like, what part of it? Like, what do you mean?
Like a product that like the cost to make versus.
Well, I wouldn't sell it if that was the case. If anything, it's the vinyl. We started a new department, vinyl, and we used to do it. We stopped doing it for 3 years because it was too slow. We started doing it again, and we can only do like 15 an hour, but we charge more. Every part of the business is profitable. What could you cut out of your life that would allow you more time to work on growing your business? 3:30 on Fridays, going on Instagram Live and drinking. That.
I didn't see that. But...
I don't have a lot of waste in my life. Like, I moved away from all my friends and family to move to Charleston just so I could focus on business. And that cut out mostly all of it. So I'm sure if I have like a kid in the future, I might waste some time, even though I don't consider it a waste. I don't, because like it'll be literally my life a zero waste in it. I'm always doing something, either sleeping, eating dinner, watching a TV show, running my company, or doing this like podcast and stuff. There's nothing else. And the gym. Like I don't have any waste in my life right now. And I hope I can maintain that as I maybe have a family. But no, I've set it up on purpose like that. I've done it on purpose over years of block building to make sure that I don't have any waste. This is the biggest waste.
Did you see what my other question was?
What was your other one?
What's your empathy score?
Yeah, I took this test online. It was like, what's your empathy score? And it was, you answered like 60 questions. Did you ever end up taking it?
No, I didn't.
It's like 60 questions, and I rushed through it a little bit, but I answered them. And the higher the score, the more empathetic you are. And if you're lower than 30, it says you like might be autistic. And my score was 33. Like, I'm not
autistic.
Oh, I'm not autistic, but I'm not the most empathetic. I mean, and maybe that's something as I get older and wiser I can build on. I think I can put myself in other people's shoes. I think I can understand how people are feeling. And I'm trying to, through podcasting and having a bunch of guests and talking to people and trying to help people, I think I'm improving upon being able to connect with someone. And then like Brandon, with your weight loss, like that's nice of me.
Yes.
In a way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you want to say it's selfish, it's that we're making content from it or something. Like, I care about you. Like,
I wouldn't do it if we did make content.
Like, I care about you.
Yeah.
Have I not proven that?
Yes, you have.
And like,
more than
the way that I do it is like, I don't think that anyone can help 1 million people until you're Bill Gates. Like, so I like to micro my empathy, like pick.
Use a small circle.
Yeah. I like to, and I'm not good enough yet. I'm not good enough at helping others to be able to help a room of 15 people who all have their own situations. So I pick Brandon, and like, you provide me tons of value. Like, but just something.
You provide me value.
Something specific like the weight loss is something that I'm helping. I'm trying to help out of kindness and caring, and like, you know, I'll give you the car, like, and like, you're obviously, maybe this is one of the reasons my empathy score is not that high, because you helped me with so many things, like, but something that I don't know. I don't want my score to be 80. I don't want my score to be 80. I want my score to be like 55, and I'm at 30.
I think Gandhi was a business like entrepreneur.
Like, so. I feel I am shameless as far as no one can say anything to me that will hurt my feelings. And I think that is one of my greatest traits. And I think that is also leans towards not being so empathetic. And if somebody is tired, or like, I'll be like, well, don't be tired. Like, and I'm trying to be able to get better at giving like examples and reasons, but I don't want to be 80 empathy score, but it's something I can maybe bump up a little bit, but I'm not that empathetic. What other business do you want to dabble in? Content production. And I'm already dabbling in it. And then also, here's one of the other business that I could dabble in for United Monograms is like, we already have so many orders that we don't have enough time to produce more things. But as the production grows and we can fulfill things very fast, I think if you guys ever heard of the company Cafe Press or Zazzle or Printify, of being like a fulfillment company for other people who don't want to do the fulfillment. Somebody who has a podcast and they want to sell shirts, but they don't want to fucking make shirts. They will be able to sell them, and my company could be the one that fulfills them. Somebody's got to build a factory. That's what I've been saying ever since I decided I got to build a factory. Someone's got to build factories. And not a lot of people want to do it.
Rachel said, bless you, Brent. There's a lot of stuff coming up. You got to read a lot of stuff. A lot of people can say stuff.
All right. When are you and Brandon having your basketball match? Oh, God. Brandon, you want to tell them about that?
When I'm at my playing...
I already played him, and he's never said a word since then.
We didn't play a real match.
Brandon, can you beat me in basketball?
Yes, at my playing rate.
Come on, dude. Just stop.
You're really good. You're better than I thought.
Don't make me angry. Am I better than I thought? Like,
you're way better than I thought.
Okay. We played. And we didn't play one-on-one. But one day he got a gym membership. And I went just to end this conversation. And we didn't play one-on-one, but we played like one-on-one. It was like we played 21 with 3 or 4 guys. And I won every game. And Brandon might have had 2 points. I had 21. Like, it's okay. I'm better at basketball than you. It's okay. It's all right.
But you might be a better scorer than me. Don't mean you're a better basketball player.
I'm not going to decide. I'm going to decide not to put my energy towards that. Rachel, it's been decided.
I might be a better passer.
If we learn from our mistakes, why are we afraid to make them? Well, because you don't learn from them. Listen, learning, right? If you make a mistake and you feel terrible about it, and then you never want to do it again, that makes sense. So then you don't want to make any mistakes again, and then you don't take any risk. It's not learning from your mistakes. It's learning to make mistakes and be comfortable with them. It's not making mistakes doesn't make you learn anything. Making mistakes and then training yourself to feel comfortable with making mistakes makes you be comfortable with them. It's not just making a mistake. It's making a mistake and being like, okay, this terrible feeling, I'm okay with this. And then making another mistake. And it still feels bad. I'm okay with this. It's learning from feeling comfortable with the mistakes. Just making a mistake doesn't do shit.
Do you say that to a heroin addict?
I mean, doing heroin once is a mistake. What do you mean?
Like you said, you said you have to be comfortable making mistakes again.
Dude, heroin is like the craziest example you have.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, don't do heroin. I'm sure, dude, I bet you heroin is amazing. I have no doubt that heroin is amazing. But like, just don't do it. Like, just common knowledge. Like, 90% of people either die or luckily maybe go to rehab. Bless you, Brandon. He didn't sneeze.
I did.
What are your hobbies outside of work? Do you not have time? I don't really have any. I have an unread email about joining a basketball team, and it starts in April. I've always loved playing sports, but like,
April.
I don't really have any hobbies. What are my hobbies?
Your hobbies are
doing this show,
exercising.
Yeah, it's not really a hobby.
Family Guy.
It's not really a hobby. I don't really have any hobbies. Doing heroin, what's been your favorite Live at Lunch episode so far that we did? Rachel, I have an answer to it. And the answer is, it was actually the episode that when you were out. And it's not a diss on you. It was, the reason why it was my favorite episode was because it was a Q&A. And we asked people to ask questions beforehand and we wrote them down. One of the problems with the live show, especially Live at Lunch, is the delay and the waiting. And we need to do it. We need to do it for what we do. But there's something about that show where like it just cut all the delays out. Like we just read, no one was reading the comments. Brandon wasn't reading the comments. Me and Shelby weren't reading the comments. We just did it without reading or having anything to do with picking winners. And it just flowed really well. And I don't think that we should do that every episode. But that was my favorite episode for some reason. And it's just in my recent memory. Also the one where I got pied in the face. The one where we ate donuts from the ceiling. That was a good one. I love every live at lunch. Picking the winners from live and reading it and the delays are like, when we play it back on YouTube and like Instagram and stuff like that, it's a live show, so it's fine how it is. But like those little like 4-second like waiting stuff, even when we were playing Pictionary on last live at lunch, like it's like quiet, like I don't know, I don't like dead space, but we naturally have to kind of have it. I just said that answer right off the top of my head, but I love live at lunch. I think the best thing about live at lunch is not even for the people who tune in. I understand what they want. They want to, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, United Monograms, every Wednesday at 12:30, we do a live show and we show products. We play games with the customers and stuff like that. And we always have like 120, 130 people in there on Facebook and Instagram. So like 300 people. And I think the best thing about it is, yes, one, the people that actually tune in. But for us posting it on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram after the fact, it shows the people who don't tune in. It shows them that there's real people running this company that every single week do this show. They don't watch it. They might see it. They might scan it. They don't watch it. But they see our faces. They see that we're doing it. And that shows that for a company where you order something and you're wondering if it's coming, it's real people. It's real faces. It really shows that we are a real company that's reliable, that's always there, that has a face to drop your problems on if something's being delayed. And I think that is the power of Live at Lunch. It shows that we're genuine, we're real, and that we're going to get you your order. And it gives people confidence to place orders where they're not like, is this site real? No, yeah, damn right it's real. Look what we do every single week on Wednesday. That's one of the values of it. The pickle juice one. I still have not had to drink pickle juice, by the way. How is it to work with your significant other? How do y'all find balance? I get this question a lot, and I don't think I have a good answer. Shelby is so fucking amazing that it can't be compared to other people. We're just both, like, she's a rock star. She's so incredible that I can't even really give advice, because the advice is get someone as amazing as Shelby.
How do that?
I do appreciate the small business feel that you guys bring. Now, I hate the word small business because I don't want to be a small business. But I guess by the standards of the government, we are a small business. Under 50 employees is technically a small business. But in 5 years, when we're massive, you'll know where we came from. And you will still like ordering from us because you know us from the roots. So like we always have that root story that we started from nothing. We didn't get handed $1 billion from our parents or something like that. Like, so there's value in it now that you like that. And there's value in that in the future to look back on where we came from. That shows that we aren't some corporation who's faceless and stuff like that, even though I do want to build a big corporation.
What would you value your company? Like, how much would you sell your company to someone who wanted to take your whole operations in your new warehouse?
If someone wanted to buy the company, how much would I charge them?
Yeah.
They say 1.5 times sales. So like that would be like 15 million.
But your warehouse does not add value?
Yeah. If someone offered me 15 million for the company right now, I would
really take it for 15?
No, I just said I'd really, really have to like dig deep on that. Dig deep on 15 million. 30 million? I'd probably take 30 million. 20 million, I'd lean towards yes. 10 million, I'd lean towards no. 15 million, I'd really have to think. That's where I'm at with that. 15 million, so like Shark Tank valuation, I think would be around 15 million. And like, yeah,
I got another question. Since your mom like let you live in her basement, and everyone wants like NFL players' dreams to buy a mom a house, would you ever like give back to your mom in some way, like percentage of your company or like?
Not a percentage of the company, but Mom, if you're watching, she used to say to us as kids all the time. She would say, "One day you guys are gonna buy me a beach house. One day you're gonna buy me a beach house." And I swear to God, like, I forgot about that until you just brought that up. Like, that's actually a great question. Like, maybe I will get something from Mom. Now, here's my low empathy score. Right?
This has to do with your mom.
So. Yeah, here's my 33 out of 80 low empathy score. Here's the thought that popped into my head. Maybe if we have kids and she could be some type of child care. So like say she comes to Charleston, we buy her a big house. We own the house. The real estate value is going up. So eventually we could sell and make a profit. And then like she could maybe be some type of child care. I would get something out of that. She would get something out of that. But like, that's a little bit of a selfish answer. But I do have a dream for Shelby's dad. Shelby's dad, his goal has always been when he gets older, he wants to go down the East Coast Waterway. It's from...
Yeah.
You know what it is? Yeah. It's like, it literally has like signs. It's from like Florida up to like New Jersey or New York. And you're on a boat, but you're very close to the coastline. You can pop in anytime you want to the coast for a restaurant or lodging. His dream has always been to do that. And I feel like I could facilitate that. I always thought one day I'll get him that gift, the gift of paying for his trip down the East Coast to the waterway.
Too impossible.
It's not impossible. No, it's very doable. I mean, I don't know if we'd rent a boat, but I would do nice things for my parents, and like the selfish angle would be like buy a house, buy a boat, like invest in things that you let them use. You provide that. You're doing something for your parents, but you're also making an investment. And it's not all about the return on the investment in that case. Part of that return on the investment would be what you provide to them. And then also the actual return on investment of the value of the house going up and all stuff like that.
You probably can do all that before you're 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, have the next couple of big years. What do y'all hope to achieve on Shark Tank? Nothing, because they didn't accept us. If you go to YouTube and type in United Monogram Shark Tank, you can see our application video. I thought it was pretty damn good. We didn't get accepted.
You're too big.
We do have very high sales for like the standard Shark Tank company. They're usually younger than us. I mean, we're 5 years old. We would blow them away with our sales numbers, but also probably our valuation. And I don't know. They didn't accept us, so fuck you, Shark Tank. Sarah, baby, I gotta say, you're in the lead. You're in the lead for this $50. You're hustling. What were you trying to get? Well, watch the video, honestly. Not now, but we went through the building. We did we needed more space. We were running out of space. And this was before we got the loan for our new building. At this point, I don't even know what we would ask them for, because what we needed at that time was more space, and we got it. So we got it without them. So I don't know what we would say to them as far as what we're asking for. Do we need a shark? Do we need the money for inventory? Honestly, the very, very truth is, we don't need them. And one of my biggest reasons to want to go on there was to get the notoriety. Of course, you want a Mark Cuban? Yeah, I want a Mark Cuban, but, United Monograms, our customers are girls. And Lori would be great. We don't need them. And would I give 15% of my company to Lori? Yeah, I would. But god damn. Look at a lot of the companies on there. They're like, oh, I'll give 50% of this. How much sales do you have? Oh, 5,000 in sales. Okay, give away. You know how much work I put in to build this thing up? You want me to give away 20% of it? I'm not just trying to give that shit away, man. obviously, they're giving you money, but we don't need them. So my main selfish intention of wanting to get on Shark Tank, and I would have gave away 10, 15%. It was for the exposure and the notoriety. And Bev Boy was somebody who I met in an entrepreneur group in Charleston, and they got a deal from Damon. And he said that on the show, Shark Tank, he pitched his thing. It was a koozie with a little like weight underneath. So when you're in the pool, you can put the koozie on the pool and it would like balance there. And you could sit in the pool and have your drink. It was called Bev Boy. He got a deal on the show from Damon. He did a corny pitch in a hot tub, and a lot of the sharks ripped it. Kevin O'Leary ripped him. And he was not looking good on the show. And then at the very end, Damon came in and gave him a deal. He got a deal. And then guess what? He never got the money. A week passed. 2 weeks passed. He emailed Damon. Hey, Damon, this is Kevin. We hugged on Shark Tank after you accepted my deal. I'm just waiting for the money. Damon never sent it. And after I found that out, I looked it up. About 40% of the companies that go on Shark Tank that get deals on the show don't end up actually getting the money. How crazy is that? 4 out of 10 pitches that get a deal and then they walk out of the tank, they celebrate. 4 out of 10 of them never get the money. I work at a company called Pride Bites, a dog toy company, and they got a deal, and I don't even buy from them anymore. Don't even know if they're still in business. Okay, so you don't work for the company. Whatever you do, you work with the company. And yeah, I mean, Shark Tank, like a Google or Amazon or Under Armour or Nike, they're not going to start from Shark Tank. Shark Tank is one thing and one thing first. It's a TV show. It's Friday night on ABC, and they're trying to get the most views and watchers. That's their number one objective. So it's, you get that spike in sales that day. Shark Tank is not for like Elon Musk, obviously, but like somebody who's like, you don't need them. You don't need them if you're good enough. If you really need $100,000, you can get it. You can figure it out. It's more for TV. And that's why a lot of the companies are a little smaller. Does life begin when fear stops? Fear never stops. Fear is biologically wired. Fear is biologically wired in our bodies. There's nothing we can do about it. You can never get rid of fear, but you can practice being fearful and ignoring that feeling. There's a big difference. So fear never stops. But if you get good enough at having fear come up, and then you chop it off, that is essentially what having no fear is. Fear always exists, but the skill is to be able to eliminate the fear. And yeah, pretty much life starts when you can develop that skill. Seriously, like, how fucking embarrassing it is to go on Instagram Live and drink and just talk. But I'm over it. So yeah, life kind of begins when fear stops. That's actually true. I'm an account manager at a distribution company. Very vague, but cool. What's your thoughts on Elon Musk and Zuckerberg feud? I think you mean Elon Musk and Bezos. They're fucking awesome. Those guys are so cool, man. Like, Mark Cuban is nowhere near Bezos or Musk as far as money. The one thing that's different between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos is, well, let me start with the one thing that's similar. Of course, successful, blah, blah, blah. They're both CEOs of public companies. And do you know what that means? That means that, like, you shouldn't be silly. Like, okay, you're the CEO of a public company. You need your most important thing in your entire world, if you're a CEO of a public company, is number 2, your customers. But number 1 is your stockholders. There's nothing more important as a CEO of a public company than your stockholders. So Jeff Bezos is very much good for that. He's professional, he's behind the scenes. Elon Musk is more like a combination between Jeff Bezos and Kanye West. He's silly, he's goofy. And the fact that he went on Joe Rogan and smoked weed and like the stock dropped, like I like Elon Musk the most out of them because of that. Because of the fact that as a personal person, he can block off the I'm a public CEO, I'm a shirt and tie, presentable figure to the shareholders. He's silly as shit on Twitter. And like, his stock is booming. I bought a Tesla and I bought 5 shares of Tesla in March of 2020. And the car has, as of now, been paid for with the stock. The stock is booming. The stock is booming. So like, Elon Musk is my favorite. And Zuckerberg also has to deal with the Zuckerberg also falls into the category of I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO. I am the face of a public company. I have to be presentable. Like, if you're the face of a CEO, you're a public company, you have to be presentable. There's no silly CEOs with podcasts. Like, no CEOs have a podcast. Like, Elon Musk doesn't either, but he's silly. And like, there's something to that. So he's my favorite. Elon Musk is my favorite. But from just a straight business standpoint, like, they're all incredible, man. They're all incredible. Zuckerberg, Musk, fucking Bezos. I actually think it's bad. I actually think it's bad for a young entrepreneur to think, I need to change the world. The world can only be changed so many times. There's only so many markets. Like, I'm not at this point in my life trying to change the world. I said my current goal is to be a $100 million company selling apparel, monogram clothing, decorated apparel. That's not going to change the world. Like, it's a flaw for an 18-year-old kid in business school to think that the only way for him to be successful is to get an app with 1 million downloads in the first month. It's so rare. And no, most entrepreneurs sell products and services. They fight through a crowded market. They do something maybe a little different or nothing different and just do it the best to fight through and get a little bit of the market share over a 10-year, 15-year period of time. It's not easy. It doesn't happen like Facebook where it just blows up. It doesn't happen like that. It's a bad thing to think that I'm 18-year-old. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to be like Jeff Bezos. I want to be like Elon Musk. The guy that you want to be like, you don't know who he is. Because those guys are interesting because they're 100 million, billion faces. You know how many billionaires are in between that might be public CEOs and don't want to do podcasts and stuff. But that's where most of the most successful people are. You don't know their names. Because they're not making content. They're not doing that shit. So like, the people that you know that are successful with content versus the people that you know because they're the richest people in the world. In between that is where most entrepreneurs want to be. And if they think they want to be Elon Musk, they might fuck up their whole perception of where they want to go. You got to grind. It's going to take 10, 15 years, and that's normal. I'm 31. I've been grinding for 6 years. And I've done like 15, 16, 17 million in sales. And I'm just getting my feet off the ground. Like, it's just starting. Will you make a business course this year? No. I need to listen to Joe Rogan podcast for sure. Do you listen to it? Absolutely, I listen to it. I fucking love Joe Rogan. What triggered the change of perspective on social media? You mentioned you're over it. Where did that change come from, and how has that affected you, what you do on social media? I think you mean like caring about... Okay, I think I have the answer to your question, Rosie Ray. Tell me if this is what your answer is. Or tell me if this is like what you're looking for. Here's where most people get stuck. They have a bubble around them that is very small. And the bubble consists of your parents, your aunts and uncles, your friends from high school. And if you do anything that fractures that bubble, those people are going to try to keep you in that. You don't want to disappoint your parents. You don't want to disappoint your aunts or your cousins or your friends. Like, there's us, and it's only like 26 people, right? It's a small bubble. The second that you start seeing your audience from like one level past that bubble, your parents and your aunts and your uncles are going to be like, what are you doing? Who are you? That is when you break through. That is when you stop caring like about about views or likes or what they think. Like, and not everyone, you need to do that in some, there's content and they're starting a business. If you're going to go after your dreams, though, you're going to be questioned by your immediate bubble. When you're a little kid, you can't live without your mom or your dad. You suck on your mom's tit, you fall, and they save you. They give you money. They help you go to college. They help you make all your decisions. They're such an important part. And by the time you're 22, you don't want to disappoint them by starting your own business when all they ever wanted you to do is be a doctor. You don't want to disappoint them. But you're eventually going to end up hating them if by 32, you never did the thing that you wanted to do. And then my mom, when I started my business, was like, what are you doing? Now we have the best relationship ever. You got to break through that small bubble. And then the world looks different. This is your bubble. And you break through it. You piss off close family members. And I don't mean piss off. You don't have to piss them off. You just have to not care what they think genuinely. And then the bubble becomes like this. And then you broke through. And you can think about what you're doing on a different level because you broke out of that small little family bubble. Does that answer your question? Sometimes you don't get what you want because you deserve better. Is that true? No, it's not true. I don't believe in deserving anything. I don't believe in that. No. Like, sometimes you don't get what you want because you deserve better. Nah, that sounds corny as hell. Like, you gotta take things. And luck, I don't believe in luck, but luck is a factor. But you gotta make it. You have to open up your eyes for the opportunity. You have to be in a certain frame of mind to welcome in luck. No, you don't deserve shit. I don't deserve shit. You don't deserve shit. Nobody deserves shit. Gandhi doesn't deserve shit. If you think deserve is a word that is important to you, you think you deserve something, that's a fucking loser mentality. You don't deserve shit. You're good, bro. Don't drink much. You'll go to Pluto. Shoot a text. What kind of parent do you hope to be? Just a loving, providing parent. Hug daddy. Don't forget to use a condom. No, I'm trying to be a parent. I talked about parenting a lot recently on my last podcast and stuff like that, so I don't really feel like talking about it. I'm not a parent. I'm newly married. Maybe a kid will be coming sometime in the future. And I'm not going to... My one comment on that is that I'm not going to... I'm on a course. I'm not going to go off my course to be obsessed with my kid. I'm going to love them. I'm going to take care of them. They're going to be probably one of the most important things in my life. But, like, it's not going to stop my trajectory. And I think that'll be healthy across the board. Will you spank your kids? I don't know. Deserve and fair. I hate those words. I hate the word deserve more than I hate the word fair because I like the word fair in the context of a conversation. I get what you're saying, Nico, but I like the word fair in the sake of a conversation because, like, fair is a word to use in a conversation where you are talking with someone that you oppose. Okay, that's fair. I like the word fair because in a conversation, it's a very powerful word because you're saying, okay, that's fair. So, like, in life, deserve and fair, I get what you're saying. I hate the word deserve, and it's never has a context in life to use in conversation. Fair is a very important word to use in context in conversations that are, like, conflicting. So I like the word fair, but I get what you're saying. I have one. I think I'm done. I have a career and I still want to travel. Where do you want to go? I think traveling is like overrated. I don't say don't do it. It's just, it doesn't matter where you go. Well, you can go to Paris and you can sit in a hotel room and watch Netflix. Depends what you do when you travel. And what you do is like what frame of mind you're in life. Like, I like a vacation if you want to just kind of get away, have a break, a mental break. And in that case, it's good to go somewhere cool. But like, I don't want to go on a vacation right now. Like, I don't want to go to Paris right now. Like, I'm good. Like, there'll be a time when that's the right thing to do. But like, traveling is it's not, you don't travel for the sake of traveling. You travel for the sake of traveling on the experience of your own life. Like, traveling is only cool if you do cool things. And like, traveling is overrated on its face. You want to see the world, Europe and South Africa? I don't mean this in a rude way. I don't. And I'm open to your opinion. Go on fucking Google Maps and Google Images and YouTube. You could, and that like is a factor. Like, you can see it all. I was spoiled my whole life. I traveled at one point 3 to 4 times a year. I'm assuming, Nico, you went to Greece. When you get that perspective, traveling is overrated. It makes you appreciate America. The one thing that you could argue for the sake of traveling would be to experience other cultures. And that's hard to do if you...
Don't know the language.
If you go to Mexico and you go to a resort, that's not experiencing another culture. And language is a big part of it. I mean, I've only been to Australia, New Zealand, and I definitely got a little bit of culture there, but they speak English. And then I went to Tahiti, Bora Bora, and it was a resort type thing. That was a vacation. So like, but like, if you just go there and expect some type of culture, you have to set up your trip to give yourself the culture. You at least want to go to Hawaii. That's doable.
Have y'all been talking about y'all's honeymoon trip?
I think we're past the point where like, if we went on a trip this weekend, we wouldn't call it honeymoon. There's no good beaches here in Texas. Hey, at least Texas has beaches. I used to live in Chicago, and I knew a good amount of people who'd never seen the ocean. They go to Lake Michigan there, but like...
How far is Lake Michigan from Chicago?
It's like right there.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the Midwest have never seen the ocean. I know Texas has like Galveston and Houston, which is the ocean, so...
The place gets effed up by hurricanes.
I love the food in other places, and even going to New Orleans was great. I've never been to New Orleans. That's like the one U.S. city if I had to pick who I'd go to next, as far as like traveling. One time I always wanted to go to Seattle because it's the corner of the country. It's interesting. And I got drunk once, and I woke up and I had 2 plane tickets to Seattle. And me and Shelby went there.
Yo.
What? Why'd you say yo?
Is that real? Is that true?
True story. Are you okay?
I just like, I didn't know you were like, am I being like gullible in this moment or what?
No, that's a true story.
That's crazy.
It's a true story.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm very happy I went. I had an itch to scratch for years. I had an itch. I was like, I gotta go to Seattle. I gotta go to Seattle. And then like, that's why my drunk body like purchased it, because I just had to go there.
Would you go to Portland to see like all the craziness there?
Yeah, there was protests in Portland.
You talking about when they like created their own little city, you know?
No, but I heard like last night there was like protests in Portland. No. I do have one thing to say about politics. My number one issue in politics is corny as hell. I want the country to be united, right? That's so corny. I get it. I told it to my one uncle once, who's like kind of like lives in the country. He's kind of like Republican, and he's like, "That's your one issue," and it's like, it looked so dumb when he said that. I was like, "Yeah, that kind of is my one issue." I mean, you know, the tax rate fluctuates between 15 and 20%. Like, I do care about the documentary that will be told about this time in 50 years. Like, and that's just the news every night, the story. I do want the country to be united. And I like Trump. I mean, I think he went out on a bad run. I want the country to be united. And I thought that the left was getting like real bad around the time he got elected. And I think it was a good thing. But then Biden was saying he wants the country to be united. And for someone who didn't vote for him, I'm in. Like, I'm in. Like, I want, okay. Like, when Trump was in, like, I don't think he obviously did not call for unity enough. He didn't. I'm just saying, like, as the boat rocks and we try to find unity, like, the side I didn't vote for is in power, and I think they're going to be great, and I have the highest optimism, and my point is I'm in. I'm down to be unified. Like, I'm in. Right now, I'm so happy. I'm very excited for Joe Biden. I think he'll be a great president. And
do you think he'll be an 8-year president?
I don't know. It's been one day, so let's take a chill pill on that. But I'm in. I'm in for unity. That's what I'm saying. And I mean that. And like, people who care more about politics than me would be like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. You're so pie in the sky. You're so like, I'm in. But also, the second that I get pissed off, I'm gonna be like, fuck that. So like, don't lose someone like me. I'm if this is the political spectrum, this is left, this is right. I'm smack dab in the middle, maybe one step right. But like, I'm just a centrist. I don't even care about politics, and I want to be unified. So like, Joe Biden called for unity. I'm in. I'm in. Someone who didn't vote for him, I'm in. Like, let's fucking get unified. And I don't even know what that means. I mean, I only think there's one real way to get unified as a country. What do you think it is?
Let me think. Money.
Money? No, that doesn't mean anything.
Let me think. Oh, the internet shutting down.
There's only one way to get unified, and it's a foreign enemy. A foreign enemy.
Yeah, China.
We need enemies. Like, we're fucking crazy Americans. Everyone's fucking nuts. We're capitalism. We're the best at everything. We're like fucking... And we need something to be angry at. So if we can all unite against a foreign enemy, that's the only way. And also, that doesn't mean I want a foreign war. Like, so it's going to be hard, but I'm in. Do I consider myself a libertarian? No, I don't. And people say that about me because I'm such a moderate centrist. They're like, oh yeah, you're like a libertarian. The one thing I don't agree with libertarians is they don't want the government to be used for anything. Anything. No, basically no government. Like, we need, like, dude, roads. I've said this before. Roads. How important and valuable are roads? So valuable. And a public company or a private company, it wouldn't really make sense for them to build roads because who would pay for it? Like, everyone chips in $10. Like, that's what taxes are. Roads. Libertarians don't even believe the government should be in charge of roads. Should the government be in charge of healthcare? It's complicated. Should the government be in charge of the military? Absolutely. I think that's the one thing libertarians agree that the government should be in charge of is the military. The government should do some things, and roads is the best example of that. Like a pure no income tax country, only a 10% tax for defense equals libertarians. Right. And I'm not like that. I think the government should do some things like protect the freedom of speech. And my current belief on censorship in social media is that the government should do it because we have a great courts are great. Courts are fair, man. And I trust the rulings of courts. And like the fact that some things are admissible in court, some things aren't. I trust that. I trust the court system. And who would I want to be in charge of free speech on social media? A company or the government that has years of foundation and precedent on the First Amendment that has already been ruled by the Supreme Court on many different levels, who understands what governing the First Amendment means? That's what I would want to be in charge of censorship on the internet. And I bet you if you go to Jack Dorsey or Mark Zuckerberg and you're like, yo, the government's going to take over all censorship, they'd be like, thank you. I don't know how to do this. It's so complicated. And like, I'm not saying it'll be an easy job for the government, but at least the people who feel like they are being violated or something like that, when they could sue, they could go to court, and then that ruling could be presided over by a judge, a real judge who understands the precedent of the former cases of the implementation of the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, which is the most important amendment. So, like, back to the point, I think the government should do that. Like, so I think the government is good. It can be good. I think it should be limited. I think they spend too much, but like, I mean,
do you think U.S. will ever go out of debt? Like, get out of debt?
No, I am concerned about the dollar. I'm very concerned about the dollar, but like, I'm not concerned about the country though. I'm concerned about the dollar. Like, that's a whole other conversation. But I truly believe in like Bitcoin, and I really believe in it because it has the ability to transact. It just has to. The government's not gonna like it, but that's another conversation. Euro would probably collapse first. Well, yeah, thanks to the Greeks, Nico.
Would you ever buy a gold bar?
Sure. I mean, you'll probably buy Bitcoin instead, but one thing this will be my last rant. One thing that makes America like a great country that I don't think some people understand, and I've only like heard this and learned this, is like, if you're in the middle of the night, right, and you stop at a red light, would you stop at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would. So would I. Like, in other countries, they don't stop at they don't respect those basic, like, laws. And I think Greece is kind of like that. Like, they don't like to pay no one paid their taxes. Like, you got no, like, literally in Greece, like, Greece is one of the worst economic disasters of all time. It destroyed the whole continent. And one thing that they do is they don't pay their taxes. And, like, okay, I get that from, like, a personal standpoint. Like, I'm not paying my damn taxes. Like, this is my money. Yeah. But, like, the roads. Like, and then if people don't respect the road, they don't stop at the stoplights. And all of a sudden, you got an ungovernable society. People like running red lights, not paying taxes. Like, it's all fucked up.
Was it like a country we're just like, well, we're just not going to file taxes.
No, it's more of like a culture. Like a culture. Like,
they're like, they can't get us all.
They can't get us, like, kind of like that. They can't get us all.
If America did that, we'd be
But it wouldn't be good. It would not be good. If all Americans said, we're not paying our taxes, they can't get us all, that would not be good.
The world is, like, America is run off of tax dollars.
Like, literally, like, think about how we respect the red lights. That's a small example, but it's, like, shows the power of, like, what our country is. I use red lights because it's such a tiny example of, like, a day-to-day life. We respect the basic laws. And, like, that brings a society that can function. And, like, that is powerful. And America has the perfect balance of it, man. My thoughts on the Capitol riots? I think that those guys that did it, like, are fucking losers.
They're extremists.
And I don't mean losers in, like, a negative, nasty way. I mean it in, like, a sad way. Like, they got on one side... And then there's this Q shit, like this Q. Apparently, I only know this from like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert were both talking about this. It was like in the news like yesterday. A bunch of Q people were watching the inauguration and they were tweeting and they're like, "Wait, any second now, Trump's gonna come down from a helicopter. He's gonna put all these people in jail. Everyone's TV channels are gonna change to it automatically, and the new establishment is gonna be set up. Trump's gonna be back in office. He's just waiting for the last minute." Like, and the thing is, like, those people really believe that. Like, it's sad. It's really sad. Like, they're not bad people. They're just so pathetic. So pathetic. They're just so pathetic. And there's people like that on the left too. Like, not my president. You lose. It's painful, especially if you're invested in politics. It sucks. It's like, oh, it's a hit. Like, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. Like when he won, I was like, and then 5 seconds later, I was like, all right. And that's comes from the strength of someone like me who's trained my brain to like be like that. For the people who don't have that like type of mental strength, like, I feel bad for them. And I'm not saying like they shouldn't, anyone who's stormed the Capitol and is being arrested, they should get arrested. Like, I'm not saying I feel bad for them. Like, we should pardon them. I'm just saying, like, what do I think about the Capitol riots? I think, wow, there's a lot of pathetic people. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. I mean, there's always going to be pathetic people.
But, like, why do you think Trump, like, gets people to believe in him that much?
Dude, he's a master persuader.
How did he become that?
Trump is the greatest persuader ever. And that's why he won the first time. And then people kind
almost Hitler-esque.
Hitler was a great persuader as well.
Yeah.
But different, it's not.
I'm not talking about like an evil
Hitler
sense.
killed 6 million people in
I'm
camps.
not talking about an evil sense, but like in like just mastermind.
Yeah, he's I mean, the worst thing about Trump was that after the losing, he kept going, and like he doesn't have the ability to lose or whatever.
But
so
he
like,
didn't kill himself like Hitler.
Well, there wasn't a war. The reason Hitler killed himself is because Mussolini in Italy, he got killed by the citizens, and then he got hung upside down on a thing, and all the citizens came and beat him with a bat. So like Hitler just didn't want that to happen to him, which was coming in. So Trump and Hitler in the same conversation is, why are we even saying that? It's so different. But
persuading like millions of people.
But the bad part about him, and I don't like it either, was he lost. He lost. And I know a lot of people who voted for him the first time and didn't vote for him the second time. Like, he definitely lost. And I think he lost because of the lack of empathy during... Dude, if the coronavirus never happened, I think he would have won. And I do think Joe Biden is a great president for a coronavirus-style situation. It's if you had a spin wheel of presidential things, and like you spin the wheel, and it's like economic crisis, world war, like, and it's like 30 things. The last thing that Trump would be good at handling would be a pandemic. Like it's the worst thing that could have possibly happened to his style, and
it is what it is,
and that's why he lost. It is what it is. Yeah. But then when he lost, the fact that he just kept fighting was so embarrassing, and I tuned it out. I was like, okay, whatever. He kept saying it. I was like, I can't believe he keeps saying that. But then there were still the people that were like, "Bro, he won!" Like, and the fact that he associated with those people that were like, "No, we did win," is just like fucking embarrassing, dude. He didn't know how to shut his mouth. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm saying. All right. He actually had a good chance of getting reelected. He just couldn't stop saying dumb shit. That combined with the pandemic. The pandemic is like, dude, shit talking works against other countries. Shit talking works against political opponents. It works with passing bills. Like, he has a powerful tool set. But the one thing you can't shit talk is a virus. And like, it was the worst thing he could have possibly got handed. But he did get handed it. And if you're the best president ever, you can get handed anything on that spin wheel and deal with it. And that was the one thing he could not do well with.
I think we need to go back to where like the loser of the election becomes the vice president.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Yeah. I kind of like it. I mean, it's probably never gonna happen, but like I like it. So like it would be President Joe Biden and Vice President Donald Trump, and last time it would be like President Trump with Vice President Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
That would
unify the country.
Dude, I was just gonna say that, but then I stopped to say because like that would probably not. We would, if that was always the case, politics would be so.
They would be forced to work together.
It would be so different. It would be so different. All right, I like you guys, and the winner of this Drink Go Rich is very clear winner, and it's Sarah_baby. Sarah_baby. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will say this: if any idiots are still here, JK. Later, Hitler. Nico, I love you. Thank you for letting me take up your whole screen. Peace, love, and Sarah, baby, I'll DM you. All right after this.
Is she a UM girl?
Brandon, say bye. You're on screen.
Peace. Have a good Friday. It's Drink and Grow Rich.